Well, we got a few movies to talk about today. A couple, last week releases. Frozen 2 came out. I went and saw it, and you guys saw it too,
We
right?
saw it yesterday, yeah.
Two grown men went sat next to each other and
Watched Frozen 2.
Was your daughter?
What'd you guys
You
think?
didn't bring your daughters?
No.
No.
I love this movie.
Really?
I love
Really?
this movie.
Did
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. I had to think about it for a little while because I was comparing it to the first one.
Do you like the first one?
I love the first one.
Okay.
I put it on my Snapchat. I went fangirling yesterday. Like I watched. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I watched the first one this year.
You
for
watched
the first
Oh,
time.
really?
Even more than a couple months ago.
Yeah, I watched the first
Oh,
one.
I
This year
didn't
for
know
the
that.
first time.
I didn't know that.
I don't know why I missed it, but I did, and I love that movie. Like, I think it's one of the greatest Disney animated movies like ever.
Wow.
You and every other girl in the
Yeah, that's why I said I'm a fangirl. I'm a total fangirl of this franchise. And so I was worried what the second one was going to do and how it would feel to the first one. But I absolutely love the way that, like, I think Brian had mentioned it when you were talking, but there wasn't a let it go moment, right?
No.
Like, there's not a song that sticks in your head. But what I thought they did well to replace that is that they built this mythology and world to kind of immerse you rather than just focus on the songs.
Yeah.
I was so into the mythology they were building with the magic, with these characters, with this enchanted forest, the stuff with their parents. Like, all of it was so interesting and different from the first one, which is why I loved it so much. And I think that Elsa's like a total badass, and the animation is incredible to look at. Like, the animation is so beautiful, and the way they use colors and the landscape, specifically this time because of the forest and everything, and the spirits of these different, the wind, earth, fire, and everything. I think it's a really, really good sequel, and probably one of Disney's best sequels ever, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because a lot of their animated sequels were like straight to DVD or they weren't very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as you, but I didn't like the first one as much as you either. I think it's a little overrated, to be honest, and it was a huge, massive hit. Yeah, and I'm sure this one is as well.
You guys.
No, I liked it. I wasn't in love with it, but that's the one thing that drew me in, especially from the first one and the second one, is the mythology. I love the mythology. Elsa's a superhero. She straight up is a superhero with superpowers, and I just think it's so cool. And I like, even though there's other magical elements around, she's the only supernatural being that exists in that world right now.
Is she?
Who's a human? Who's a human?
A human.
Yeah, a human.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, that's what I was hoping to tap into.
Well, they do.
They do.
They
It's
do,
just
but
she's the only
she's the
human
only
one.
human, and there's questions as to why. And there's a group of people that they meet, and they're like, "Why did they grant you this wish?" And then they kind of dive into why they granted them this wish, and why she was given this power and everything. And
just her, or something was not spoiled. Just her, or something was her parents. Did something?
It has to do with it. It does have to do with her parents.
Okay.
But it also has to do with another group of people that we learn that her grandfather came into contact with. There's a really cool story of how they tell this story.
Yeah.
About the history.
Spoiler. I mean,
Well, it's about this history of
there's
another
the-
people that they came into contact.
Yeah, there's the town, and then there's the people.
They call them the North
yeah.
Ullmen.
I only watched like the first two trailers, but I like how the trailers didn't give away too much.
They didn't show anything.
Yeah,
They
because
really
show
showed nothing.
anything.
like the furthest in the movie, I think they show is when they walk into the fog, and that's it. And I love that.
And they show the North Ullmen, I think is what they're called, in the trailer, but it's very quickly.
They're just
Yeah,
like
you don't really know what's
Yeah.
going on in the trailer, and I love that they didn't give much up.
And
Brian,
either-
did you like it?
I liked it better than the first one.
Nice.
I like I said to him, I think the first one focused a lot on the music, and it took away from the story. This one focused on the story and used music to tell
the story. Yeah, I agree with that. There were a lot of songs though.
There were, but they knew this time around. They were like, they made fun of the fact that they did so many songs in the first one. Like
Yeah.
the one of the guy characters.
My
has,
favorite part of the movie is the Kristoff song.
Yeah.
When he's singing with the reindeer as the background singers, I was cracking up
Well, it's
so
like
hard.
an old 80s music video where he's in the corner singing and then his face fades in and he's still singing.
And then
It's
he
like
says a
very
line
old
and the
school.
reindeer are behind him and they say a line after him.
It's like Bohemian Rhapsody where he'll be like singing something and then the three heads like
Yeah.
pop above him.
Yeah, it's
Stuff
so
like
But
good.
the
that.
funny thing is, like, the song's actually pretty good, and
Yeah.
it fits into the story.
All the songs, the lyrics are written.
I actually
well.
really like Into the Unknown. Like, I think I like that better than Let It Go, to be honest.
The songs were literally used to tell a story, not for a song. Like she or him is telling like what's going on.
And it's two
through
characters
the song.
walking out and it just bursts into song.
Exactly, and there's even a part where she like is like going through memories, and they show like Let It Go, and she's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's cool fun part,
Olaf
yeah.
retelling the stories
Yeah.
was awesome.
That was a good scene too. Yeah.
Are there any further ties or references to Tangled?
Not
That you
that
guys
I
Not that I
got.
caught.
Okay.
Not that I caught. I'm sure someone who's a massive fan person is going to find something.
Saw
but I didn't
something.
catch anything.
Yeah. Because she's in the first movie.
Yeah,
And she very well could have been there, but I was so paying attention to everything else.
Yeah, right.
So
Rapunzel.
it was
No,
good though.
Rapunzel, yeah.
I really did think it was better than the first one, just because it was I hesitate to use the word darker, but it was like more.
It was more serious.
It was more adult, almost kind of too.
It was a little bit darker, I would say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they
But there's
definitely had.
gritty.
definitely moments. There's
Gritty
definitely
stuff.
moments.
I liked
It's
the elements factor the most. I think that was kind of cool.
Well, the mythology of everything, how they kind of describe the magic and what happens and where it comes from, and how she essentially kind of had to go through these trials to face these elements and tame them, as she said, which is really cool.
It's like Avatar.
It's very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it did remind me of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was,
It's
I
funny
love
that-
that kind of
It's
stuff.
funny because I was just thinking like Disney sequels, and I'm like, there really isn't another.
No, we think of Pixar sequels. Disney sequels, there's not very many. If any.
like I'm trying.
I mean, Ralph Breaks the Internet is one.
But other than that,
They haven't done a lot of theatrical.
Like Jungle Book
releases.
2 went to DVD.
Yeah,
The
Aladdin-
Cinderella movies
the
went to
Aladdin
DVD.
sequels.
They all went straight
Yeah.
to DVD.
Like
Like
Aladdin sequels, they look pretty good though.
They weren't as most of them weren't as good as the originals, and so
But
this is
Yeah,
solid.
definitely.